Welcome back to the Rhode Show. This morning in the Buzz, it's actually a pretty shocking new statistic. For the first time ever, married couples are no longer the majority in the United States. Here's the deal. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, married couples have now dropped below the halfway point, represented by just 48% of American households. That is way below the 78% average back in 1950, which really wasn't that long ago when you think about it. Experts say it's really a milestone in the evolution of the American family toward less traditional forms. In the past 50 years or so, we've seen a significant change in households, with more women earning college degrees and becoming single heads of the house. And also, don't forget this, people living longer, which leads to more elderly singles as well, and a growing number of couples who live together without being married. So traditional families are considered, of course, to be married couples with kids, and again, that number has now dropped. Surprised?
No, because I think tradition with a lot of things has gone by the wayside. I just think people, the way things used to be done, aren't done like that anymore. And people are getting married later. People are just not getting married and having children. So, I mean, you know, I just think it's changed everything.
I think we have become, as a society, commitment phobic. We can't commit to cars anymore. We lease them for a couple years and we get rid of them. Houses, I don't want to talk about how many houses I've lived in. Nobody lives in the same house anymore, and I think the same thing is happening with jobs.
People
Exactly.
stay in a job for their entire career, and now, you know, it's, what is it, 5-10 years maybe, and then you move on to something else. And to me, the most surprising thing is that there can be that much of a change in that little of time.
I know.
And think about before that.
What's going to happen now in the next 50 years? You know what I mean? Are we really going to see it drop, you know, even further? Might we see it sort of kind of go back again? You know, does the economy change that? I think more people get, less people get divorced in a bad economy, because they can't afford it, and so I don't know if that'll shift things. But
I think too, the way the world is now, and it's so stressful for people to even function together as a married couple with kids, and the amount of money that it costs to function normally and enjoy yourself while you're doing this. I think too many people get blown out and they get stressed out. Next thing you know, they're divorced, and they flame out here, these marriages.
I'm a bigger believer, though, that a happy household is more important than whether there's 2 rings on the fingers, or, you know, whatever is happening. I think if you have 2 healthy people in a household raising children, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you know, back to the whole stressful economy on a marriage, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day about how different it was even just a few decades ago, where, for example, people would have like a summer cottage up in, you know, New Hampshire or Maine, and you think about only one person was working. The dad was working, the mom was staying home, and you still had a little summer place. Like, how is it that we've got 2 incomes and you can't afford to do anything?
And you feel like you're just running in place and not getting anywhere.
You're just not getting anywhere. I know. I think about my family growing up. You know, we did okay, and we had a place to go skiing, and I thought it was normal. I thought we had a little house to get away to go on the weekends. But I'm thinking, have 2 mortgages now? What are you, crazy?
I know.
I can barely afford 2 cars right now. Never mind 2 homes. So it is. It's just the way the world is right now.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what people think about this change, though, online this morning. People buzzing about it already, Courtney?
Yeah, they seem to be, you know, saddened by it. Hopefully this changes in the near future. We'll see what happens. Let's start on the live blog on foxprovidence.com. Jean says, regarding the buzz, I'm not surprised. Most people today live in a temporary mode, unable to make commitments, but I don't know why. And Anthony says, family values are being shattered by the increasing amount of divorces. It's a very sad situation. Here's the poll, and the question we're asking today: what do you think about married couples no longer being a majority? A, it's dangerous for family values. Couples are in a less traditional form. Or C, I think this will change over time. This topic has actually generated quite a few comments on our Facebook page. Kind of surprised me for this early. Donna Stanley said, individuals today are selfish and lazy. Marriage is a give and take. Marriage fails when one does all the taking and gives nothing back. Jen Clark said, this is very sad. Marriage is taken too lightly, and divorce is too easy to get. And Luis Castillo says, wow, that is a surprising statistic. I guess the times are changing, and I think we just need to change with them. So if you want to weigh in, you can do so a number of ways. You can chat with us on the live blog, vote in the poll, or leave a message on our Facebook page. We always like to see what you guys have to say.